So let's start. Today we have to start with the second unit of first chapter, that is standards and comparator. So till now we discuss about the different types of metrological modes or metrological terms that are very important from the point of view of the measurement. So from today onwards, we have to be very strict about a certain parameter or a particular parameter. So out of that, the first parameter are the standards and the comparators. Now, what do you mean by standards? Till now, many times we have referred this word as a standard or as a reference. There, we correlate the things that whatever the design values are there or whatever the manufacturing values are there, that values to be correlated with the standard values. So standard values means what? Say, I am saying that 1 centimeter. So 1 centimeter is nothing but 10 millimeter. So that conversion rate, that is 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter, remains same in the world. So whatever you will travel, wherever you will travel in the world, that particular ratio, that particular converting rate of that centimeter to millimeter or centimeter to meter will remain same. That is called as standards. So that standards are very, very essential from international business point of view, because whenever we are talking about international business, so in that international business, everywhere that standards, that measurement and all that parameter to be a constant one. So now standards can be defined as a set of technical definitions, set of technical definitions and guidelines Now, what are the technical definitions? Technical definitions may be a different one, that is measurement of weight, measurement of force, measurement of distance, measurement of so and so. So this is nothing but a technical definition. So the technical definition is nothing but the type of measurement you willing to do. And for that, they are having some guidelines. Now that these particular definitions and these particular guidelines basically are for designers and manufacturers. Basically, these standards are created, these standards are developed for designers and for manufacturers. Is it okay? Because designers are the person who take the requirement from customer, and as per the requirement of customer, they're going to design the things. So that's why they should have a similarity in their design. So that's why these particular standards are for designer, and whatever the design prepared by this designer, whatever the design is prepared by this designer, going to manufacture by the manufacturer, going to manufacture by the manufacturer. So this manufacturer to be bounded with the standards. So these standards are only for designers and manufacturers. Though in our daily life, we are also using that standards. Same thing, whatever the centimeter, meter, kg, liter, these are the standards. So in our daily life also we are using these standards, but basically very initially these standards are developed for designers and manufacturer, because designers and manufacturers are the backbone of your production unit. Now standards are considered voluntarily because they serve as a guidelines. This is very clear. These standards are a thing which is not a compulsory, which is not at all compulsory. It is, but voluntarily it is accepted as a guidelines. Why it is accepted? Because we know, suppose somebody saying that I will not follow the standards, I will not follow the standards, and as per my opinion or as per my knowledge, I will use the scale or I will use the that particular unit. So what will happen? His product will not be sell out in the market, because that values will not match. That values will not match whatever the market is adopting. So there he going to lose the business. That's why voluntarily all businessmen going to use this particular standards. But keep in mind, these standards are not laws, are not any type of rules, but it is voluntarily prepared and it is voluntarily accepted by all manufacturer as a guidelines. So ASME, this terminology is very, very important. ASME, that is American Society for Mechanical Engineers. It is American Society for Mechanical Engineering. So this ASME publishes. So this ASME took the responsibility. This ASME took the responsibility and publishes its standards. They publishes as the standards. Then whatever the standards published by this ASME get capable or get accepted by the manufacturer, because all the parameters, all the standards to ensure that they are capable of manufacturing products. So that particular standards having a capability of manufacturing products, that's why it get accepted. Now this ASME cannot, however, force any manufacturer or inspector or installer to follow ASME standards. This is very, very important. This ASME, though they have prepared the standards, though they have published the standards, but they are not forcing anybody to use that particular standards. Their use is voluntarily. जो मॅन्युफॅक्चररला वाटेल, ज्या बिझनेसमॅनला वाटेल मला हे स्टँडर्ड्स वापरायचे ते वापरतात. पण नॉर्मली जगामध्ये आपल्याला जर बिझनेस करायचा आहे ते स्टँडर्ड्स, ते युनिट, ते स्केल सगळीकडे कॉमन पाहिजे आणि कॉमनच वाचलं गेलं पाहिजे. ह्या दृष्टीने विचार केला तर प्रत्येक जण काय करतो, त्याचा वापर करतो. परहॅप्स in 1991 annual report of American Society for Testing and Materials, ASTM, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was some interruption.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So standards are a vehicle of communication for producers and users that already we have discussed. They serve as a common language defining quality and establishing safety. They serve as a common language. Is it okay? That is, centimeter means centimeter, meter means meter, kilometer means kilometer, liter means liter. So that is the common language, and that is very, very important. So keep in mind, the standards are very important from international business point of view, or not even an international business, though we are using a domestic business. For that domestic business also, the standards are important, because standards are going to decide the dimension. Now, different methods of measurement, how measurement is carried out, or what are the different types of measurement, or what are the different methods of measurement. So basically, there are 4 to 5 types of methods that usually used in the industry. First one is method of direct measurement. Method of direct measurement means what? Their workpiece and instrument make contact with each other and take down the reading. For example, your scale. You are putting your scale on that notebook and sketching a line of suppose 5 centimeter or 6 centimeter, or measuring the line of whatever the dimension is there, you are going to measure that. So that is a direct measurement. Or with the help of vernier caliper or micrometer, you are putting that object in between jaws of that vernier or micrometer, and you are taking a reading, you are taking a measurement. That is called as direct measurement. Now second one is the indirect measurement. Indirect measurement means what? Where there is no direct contact between instrument and that particular object to be checked, where that there is no exact contact or direct contact between that instrument and that particular workpiece. So like we are having laser beam, or we may have some x-rays, or we may have some what we can say, where light interference are used to take down the readings, where instrument is placed at somewhere place, and from the light rays, or with the help of that x-rays, or with the help of that light beam, going to check the measurement. For example, crack detection. If there is a crack in particular workpiece, so that crack detection is carried out with the help of this type of indirect type of measurement. Then absolute or fundamental. Fundamental means very basic measurement, very basic. Absolute, or we can say it as a fundamental method. So this fundamental method are nothing but a basic measuring methods. The zero division of measuring instrument, example steel rule or vernier caliper. Once again, though this scale and vernier caliper is here, it is in direct measurement, because there is a direct contact between that workpiece and that object, that instrument. That's why it is here in that direct measurement. But this is one third type, there absolute fundamental methods. So in absolute fundamental methods, we have to use that equipment whose scale starts from zero. Whose scale starts from zero, or always we have to use from zero scaling method. So that is called as absolute or fundamental method. Like your steel rule, that measurement starts with zero. Vernier caliper, reading starts from zero. So that's why it is called as absolute or fundamental method. After that, we are having contact method of measurement. Contact method, as I told you, the sensor of measuring instrument is placed in direct contact with quality of measured. For example, dial indicator. So dial indicator, in another lecture, in after 2 or 3 lecture, we are going to discuss this dial indicator. So just for the sake of time, you just keep in mind this dial indicator is a contact type. Contact type means what? That dial indicator plunger is there. That plunger makes the contact with the workpiece to be measured, and with the help of that sensing parameter, with the help of that sensing action, that going to reflect the reading. So there we can say it is a direct contact, though there is a direct contact, but not as that of the scale or as that of the vernier caliper. It is some one part of that particular dial gauge, one part of that dial indicator going to contact with the workpiece. Then contactless, like wireless. So there is no contact between the workpiece and the instrument. There will be a sensor, there will be a light rays, or there will be no direct contact between that two. Then comparative method. Comparative means what? Comparative means we have to compare unknown thing with known thing, or one thing with the another thing. For example, you are having two notebooks and you have to measure which notebook is longer one. What you will do? You will not take the scale and measure the length of that particular notebook. What you will put? You will put two notebook side to side, and you will just check by comparing each other. You will check which book is longer, which book is longer. So it is a one sort of comparative method where directly instrument is not needed or direct reading is not needed, but with the help of two or with the help of comparison, we can find out what is the data. So what we very simple, two notebook, you just keep side by side and just check out which one is the longer one. So that type of measurement is called as a comparator. This is just sake of information. From in future you are going to discuss this each and everything in detail. So at that time all these fundamental, all these criteria will get more clear to you people. Now we have to start with very important standards. These standards are very important from measuring point of view as well as from your exam point of view. Always keep in mind there will be one question on these particular standards. So there are these three types of standards which are very regular, very frequently used in the industry for measurement. So first one is called as line standard. Second one is called as end standard, and third one is called as wavelength standard. So these are the three types of standards: line, end, and wavelength. So what is this now? First of all, we will go with the line standard. When length is expressed as a distance, or length is measured, express mana kiwa measured mana, is measured as a distance between two lines. Keep in mind this line standard. Here we are going to measure distance between two lines. It is called as a line standard. It is called as a line standard. Both material standards, yard and meter, are line standard. It is easy to use but are not accurate. For example, now I will assign you one assignment. What you will do? Take your notebook. On that notebook, draw two parallel lines. And I will ask you what is the distance between that two parallel lines you draw. Whatever the two parallel lines you drawn on that particular sheet or whatever notebook you are having, what I will ask you to measure the distance between that two particular lines. What you will do? You will take scale. From that zero of that particular scale, you will keep to one line or the first line, and you will measure the second reading up to the second line. So that is nothing but you are measuring distance between two lines. These are the lines that particular, whatever the two lines you draw. So you measure that particular distance between that two lines. that type of measurement is called as line standard. And very frequently that distance is measured in terms of yard or in terms of meter. We are having this unit, meter or centimeter or millimeter. So this line standard, when length is expressed as a distance between two lines, or we can say two parallel lines, it is called line standard. Now end standard, when length is expressed as a distance between two flat parallel faces. See here the word is line, here the word is lines, but here the word is faces. Faces means 3D object, faces means 3D, line means 2D. लाईन जी असते तर लाईन म्हणजे आपण ड्रॉइंग मध्ये लाईन काढतो तर लाईन कशी असते 2D मध्ये असते, पण ज्यावेळेला आपण फेस म्हणतो तर फेस कसा असतो 3D असतो. म्हणजे इथे ऑब्जेक्ट कुठला आहे 3D ऑब्जेक्ट आहे की ज्याला लेंथ पण आहे, विड्थ पण आहे आणि हाईट पण आहे. पण ह्या केसमध्ये त्याला मे पॉसिबल विड्थ होती आणि हाईट होती, त्याला थिकनेस ही नसेलही किंवा नव्हतीच, पण इथे तिन्ही डायमेन्शन असणार आहे कारण हा काय फेस आहे, हा काय 3D ऑब्जेक्ट आहे. सो when length is expressed as a distance between two flat parallel faces, it is called as a end standard. Slip gauge, end of micrometer and wheels, and the vernier caliper, or whatever the you are using, whatever you are using instrument like vernier caliper or micrometer or slip gauges, they are for the end standards. These end standards are very accurate and very precise, very accurate and very precise. That's why normally end standards are used as compared to line standards. In industry, line standards are very rarely used in industry, but industry these end standards are very frequently used because here we are taking distance between the faces. For example, vernier caliper, what you are going to do, suppose I have to check the diameter of workpiece, or I have to check out the length of that particular workpiece. What you will do, you will put faces, two end faces of that workpiece in between the jaws of vernier caliper or in the jaws of micrometer. So there is a face contact, there is a face contact. So whenever there is a face contact, that contact is very rigid, that contact is very accurate, and hence that reading is accurate as well as precise. So end standard gives the accurate and precise reading. Now third one is the wavelength standard. Now wavelength standard is nothing but use of light interference. Use of light interference. Here no direct contact of equipment and workpiece. So suppose I have to check out the depth of the sea level or depth of the water in the certain pond or certain what we can say swimming pool or some well. So there I have to check the depth of that particular water. So what I will do, I cannot put the tape, I cannot take the tape and go up to the depth of the water and check the depth of that particular water. So there I have to have some advanced technology, and that advanced technology is the wavelength standard. Or for example, we have to measure a certain distance in the sky, certain star or certain planet up to the sky. So at that time we cannot put the tape, we cannot put tape over there. So there we have to use these wavelength standards. So this wavelength it is you can see here material standards. Material standards means these two. Material standards means these two. Material standards are subjected to restriction or destruction or some restriction or some limitation, and their dimensions change slightly with time. ह्या दोन्हींमध्ये आपण स्केल वापरतो किंवा व्हर्नियर वापरतो. जसं आपण थोडंसं त्याचा वापरून जातो त्यावेळेला त्याचं काय होतात, एजेस थोड्याशा वर्मआउट होतात किंवा थोडंसं फ्रिक्शननी त्या घासले जातात आणि मग रीडिंग काय होते, चुकते. म्हणून आपण गेल्या वेळेला पाहिलं होतं इट रिक्वायर्स कॅलिब्रेशन. मग त्याचं काय करतात, कॅलिब्रेशन. तसं इथे therefore it becomes necessary to have a standard of length which will accurate and invariable. म्हणजे आपल्याला त्याच वेळेला एक असं पण स्टँडर्ड पाहिजे की जे किती वापरलं तरी त्याच्यामध्ये फ्रिक्शन नाही झालं पाहिजे, त्या एजेस वर्मआउट नाही झाल्या पाहिजे, रीडिंग चुकलं नाही पाहिजे. आणि म्हणून साधारणतः ह्या वेवलेंथ स्टँडर्डची काय केली गेली, निर्मिती केली गेली किंवा त्याचा शोध लावला गेला. नाउ दिस वेवलेंथ स्टँडर्ड इज नथिंग बट दिस वेवलेंथ. वेवलेंथ तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, वेवलेंथ म्हणजे काय असते, लाईटची ती प्रॉपर्टी आहे वेवलेंथ, की किती वेळामध्ये ती लाईट Now the connection as far as we can. Now audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Lot many disturbances are
Yes,
there.
sir.
Yeah. So this wavelength. Now wavelength is a property of light that we are going to use. So this, what type of light? It to be a monochromatic light. Mono means single. See here, mono means single and chromats means color. So the light source of single color, light source of single color. This is a special light. This is a special light source. आपण घरामध्ये कुठलाही बल्ब वापरतो, ट्यूब वापरतो, ती नाही. हा मोनोक्रोमॅटिकचा सेपरेट बल्ब मिळतो, वेगळा बल्ब येतो. आपल्या ह्या साध्या लाईट मध्ये 7 कलर्स असतात. आपला जो साधा आपण लाईट वापरतो घरामध्ये, त्या 7 टाईपचे वेगळे कलर निघतात, हे तुम्हाला माहिती आहे. पण तसेच आपल्याला ते नको आहेत. आपल्याला कुठला लाईट पाहिजे? मोनोक्रोमॅटिक. मोनो मीन्स सिंगल अँड क्रोमो मीन्स कलर. सो इट इज अ लाईट सोर्स ऑफ सिंगल कलर. स्पेशल लाईट सोर्स इज यूज, कॅन बी यूज ॲज अ नॅचरल अँड इनव्हेरिएबल युनिट्स ऑफ लेंथ. आणि मग तो कुठला आहे? तर नॉर्मली दिस क्रिप्टॉन 86. Krypton 86 is very frequently used for wavelength standard. So this Krypton 86 is a monochromatic light source. Krypton 86 is a monochromatic light source and that light source is used in wavelength standard. Now these are the converting rate, that how much is the how that particular meter get that unit get transferred. That 1 yard is equal to 0.91 meters. And this 1 meter is this much wavelength, this much wavelength. So wavelength we have to adjust as per this particular light source get changed, that wavelength also get changed. So as per the wavelength, that particular or as per the light source, that wavelength get changed. But very frequently we have to use Krypton 86 as a light source. So is it clear? First one is the line standard, N standard, wavelength standard. In line standard, we are going to check, or we are going to measure the distance between two parallel lines. Then when we are going to check the distance between two parallel surfaces, it is called as N standard. And whenever we are going to use light source as a Krypton 86 for measurement purpose, it becomes a wavelength standards. So these are the 3 types of standard. Very frequently question arises this particular, either write down the description or write down the difference between any two. That means either N standard and line standard, or N standard and wavelength standard, or line standard and wavelength standard. So difference between two. But this particular difference is very famous, difference between N standard and line standard. So first one, obviously a definition. N standard, length is expressed as the distance between two parallel थांबा चुकीचं झालंय माझ्याकडनं, इथे मिस्टेक झाली, बरोबर ना? इकडचा पॉइंट इकडे झालाय, इकडचा पॉइंट इकडे झालाय. लक्षात येते का तुमच्या लक्षात येते का? हो, ते माझं लिहिताना चुकलंय, इकडचा पॉइंट इकडे गेलाय. सो N standard काय आहे? Length is expressed as the distance between two flat parallel faces. हे झालं N standard. आणि ही झाली लाईन स्टँडर्डची डेफिनेशन. तर ती तुम्ही पाहताना व्यवस्थित बघा, इकडची इकडे आणि इकडची इकडे. देन सेकंड, नाही, काम करा, हेच नाव बदलायचंय. इथे N स्टँडर्ड पाहिजे आणि इथे लाईन स्टँडर्ड पाहिजे. वरती माझं टायटल द्यायला चुकलंय. इथे लाईन स्टँडर्ड पाहिजे आणि इथे N स्टँडर्ड पाहिजे. कारण हे सगळे, हे बघा, इथे लाईन स्टँडर्ड आहे. लाईन स्टँडर्ड ही क्विक असते, इझी असते. त्यानंतर लाईन स्टँडर्ड कॅनॉट बी कन्व्हिनियंटली यूज फॉर क्लोज टॉलरन्सेस. क्लोज टॉलरन्सेस साठी लाईन स्टँडर्ड वापरली जात नाही. देन लाईन स्टँडर्ड सब्जेक्ट टू पॅरलेक्स एरर, कारण ती स्केल असते, आपण बरोबर 90 डिग्रीतनं त्यात पाहतोय की नाही, सो पॅरलेक्स एरर येतो. त्यानंतर लाईन स्टँडर्ड कॅनॉट बी इझिली अलाइन्ड विथ दी ऍक्सिस ऑफ मेजरमेंट, कारण ती 2D मध्ये मोजतो आणि ऍक्सिस असतो तो ऑब्जेक्ट 3D मध्ये असतो, तेव्हा 3D बरोबर त्याला आपण अलाइन करू शकत नाही. एक्झाम्पल काय आहे? यार्ड आणि मीटर. आणि इकडे N स्टँडर्ड इट इज टाइम कन्झ्युमिंग, कारण मी तुम्हाला समजा N स्टँडर्ड सांगितलं, N स्टँडर्ड मध्ये मी तुम्हाला काय देणार? व्हर्नियर देणार किंवा मायक्रोमीटर देणार. तर व्हर्नियरनी किंवा मायक्रोमीटरनी रिडिंग घ्यायला काय लागतो, वेळ लागतो ऍज कम्पेअर टू स्केल. ऍज कम्पेअर टू स्केल, स्केलनी तुमची पटकन रिडिंग घेऊन होईल, पण व्हर्नियर किंवा मायक्रोमीटरनी रिडिंग घेताना त्याला ए रिडिंग घ्यायची, नंतर बी रिडिंग घ्यायची, नंतर एलसी काढायचा, देन यू हॅव टू कन्वर्ट ए plus b into LC, then we have to have some calculation, and after getting that calculation you are going to get the reading. So it is time consuming process. Then third one, this N process, these N standard are highly accurate and precise, accurate and precise. Then fourth one, subject to wear on measuring surfaces. wear होऊ शकतो कशामध्ये, कारण ते व्हर्नियर आहे किंवा मायक्रोमीटर आहे, ते त्या वर्कपीस बरोबर दरवेळेला कॉन्टॅक्ट मध्ये येऊन त्याच्यामध्ये काय होणार, फ्रिक्शन होणार, त्या फ्रिक्शननी त्याच्या एजेस काय होणार, थोड्याशा वर्मआउट होणार, म्हणजे ते थोडंसं फ्रिक्शन होईल. त्याच्यानंतर कॅन बी इझिली अलाइंड विथ द ऍक्सिस ऑफ मेजरमेंट. बरोबर आहे, कारण आपण हा सरफेसलाच पकडतोय, दोन्ही त्या ऑब्जेक्टच्या आपण दोन्ही एंडच्या सरफेसला पकडणार आहे, त्यामुळे आपल्याला ऍक्सिस बरोबर अलाइन करायला सोपं जाणार आहे. फॉर एक्झाम्पल स्लिप गेज किंवा मायक्रोमीटर किंवा व्हर्नियर कॅलिपर. तर काय करायचं, इथे नाव बदलून घ्यायचे, ह्या साईडला लाईन, इथं ह्या बाजूला लाईन स्टँडर्ड म्हणायचंय आणि याला एन स्टँडर्ड म्हणायचंय, बाकी हे सगळे बरोबर आहेत. हेडिंग चुकलेलं आहे, मी इकडचं इकडे टाकलेलं आहे, त्यामुळे हेडिंग थोडंसं चेंज करून घ्या नंतर तुम्ही.